Hi everyone, happy Friday! Yeah! This is Tosca Di Matteo, founder of Tosca Coaching and Consulting, and today I'm talking to you about expansion. Yes! But first, can I just say it's a fucking awesome day outside. I am super enjoying it. I think this is like the first like outdoor Feisty on Friday since last year, summertime. Anyway, all right, so look, here's the deal, right? What is expansion? What does it mean to you? I think there's a lot of different ways you can think about it, that you can talk about it. Expansion can feel like anything from, I want to expand my paycheck. I want to get a bigger job. It can be anything about like your desires, right? We can think about it in terms of our soul expression, in terms of like expanding even like our heart space, like expanding what we let in, how we think about life. It could be, you can maybe describe it in terms of growth. I want to like grow. You want to grow your mind. You want to grow your heart. You want to grow your capacity, your capabilities, right? These are all like different ways that we can talk about expansion. And this is actually the word of the year for me. And, this word kind of came up for me at the end of last year. And in the work that I do on myself, my own healing journey, I felt like I was ready for expansion. And for me, that was about, being an even higher vibration version of myself, of being able to respond better to life versus react, about going after my biggest, wildest dreams, about doing the work that is in like my soul to do, stepping out of even further out of my comfort zone and going hard after what I want. So that's what it's meant for me. And I want to talk about what I think are some of the ways that you can expand for yourself. It's a very individual journey, right? But I think there are some things that may help you think about what is it that you can do to get on a whole new trajectory of your life, on a whole new plateau, It makes me think of like going high when others go low, right? Like how do you stay here regardless, or here, or wherever you want to be, regardless of where other people are in their lives? And one of the things that I was thinking about when I was contemplating this topic was, I remember when I was first on my healing journey that I did a lot of stuff on my own. I was going to things by myself, which made it even harder in a lot of respects. But I knew that like the healing was what I needed for my life. And I didn't yet have like people around me that were on that same like path, or we weren't at the same time on that path, I should say. I have a lot of those same friends that are in my life, but like we've all changed, And I think that when you are expanding, sometimes you see I think most of the time you see what's no longer serving you, and those things fall to the wayside. And that can be friends, that can be circumstances, that can be jobs, that can be your environment. Like there's a lot of things that I think end up falling out of your life when you expand, because not everything that's in your life is ready to expand with you, or they're not meant to come with you on that next playing field, right? And that can cause a lot of grief too. And that's part of the process of expansion, is in that accepting of what comes, that in that processing of what the implications are of your expansion. So, I think that, let's take an example, right, of something that like I've expanded in my, like expansion in my life, has happened in the arena of abundance, right? That for a lot of my life, I was operating from, well, I shouldn't say a lot of my life, but I had this like thought pattern around like limitation. I had a thought pattern around like always planning for the future. You never know what's going to happen, or maybe even scarcity. Well, I can't spend it now because what if? And I think that a lot of my expansion has come from, you know what? Like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, and I know what I want right now, and I'm going to let that lead me. Now, I'm not saying, go and buy a house that you can't afford. I'm not saying be stupid, but I'm saying, like, how can you operate from a place of abundance, operate from a place of, honoring what you need, honoring your intuition, and just doing it, I mean, here I am. I'm reporting live from Vermont, and it was a decision that me and my husband made to give ourselves the opportunity to have a place to go for a few months, in order for us to honor what we thought we needed during this time. Now, we could have taken a mindset of, we don't know what's going to happen. We're just plucking our savings right now. Do we want to continue to deplete our savings for this? We could have gone down this whole rabbit hole of even guilt, of like privilege stuff, despite the fact that we worked really hard to give ourselves these types of opportunities. We could have had a number of things that kept us from doing what we felt we needed, but we didn't. I think we both came from an abundance mindset of, you know what, we have the means, let's do it, and if things get hard down the line, we'll figure it out. And I think that's part of expansion, is trusting yourself that as you get out of your comfort zone, right, as you take maybe some risks, that you will not fall. And you will not fall because you're resourceful and you're resilient, So, yeah, I think expansion is a lot of trust in yourself. And I think that because of that, if you want expansion for your life, you need to give it a lot of space. You need to give yourself space, right? Giving yourself space often means putting boundaries in place. Boundaries can be uncomfortable for a lot of people. I've talked a lot about boundaries. I've had to readjust my life in a lot of ways and to put boundaries around my life, so that I could give myself what I need when I need it. So I think that expansion involves both the shadow work and the work in the light. What do I mean by that? Working in the light, what comes up for me when I talk about that right now is working with gratitude, right? Working with understanding what you do have, honoring what you do have, being thankful for what you do have at a heart level, at a deep level, at a body level. That's where it actually matters. It's kind of like when you say things you don't believe, it's not as powerful as when you really believe it and it's really just in your gut and you know it to be true. And that can be a practice. Gratitude can be a practice to really be like, oh my gosh, I am so thankful. And there's a lot of stuff out there in gratitude practice, but that's kind of the light, right? That's kind of saying, all right, where is the good? Where can I celebrate? What can I honor? And then the shadow work is, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to face from my past? What are the fears I need to look at? What are the things that I do that I'm not proud of myself for? The shadow work, I think I mentioned, where is the shame that I may be holding on to? What is the grief that I have? These are the parts of ourselves what are the traumas that and the wounds that I have to heal, and maybe I have to go deeper and heal those wounds in a deeper way. And I think expansion it's both of those. It's shining the light on your life, on yourself, on who you are, and what's already there for you and where you've gotten to already. And it's the shadow work of what do you got to get out of your way, my friends. And I think this, this period for me, let's just say this first quarter of the year, has definitely been both. I've had to do some excavating and facing some patterns that aren't serving me. And some of that is due to, wounds. And then I've also worked on, expansion, like open-heartedness, and some of the ways I've done that is through community, is through honoring the moon cycles and using that in service of my goals. And speaking of, I talk about the moon from time to time, you guys know, like the moon is it's a way that I can connect to myself and, my spirituality and my connection to what's bigger than me and my connection to like the fact that I'm not in control, that there are bigger things at play. And so I use the moon to help me with that work. And actually Sunday is a new moon. So awesome. So excited because that's the beginning of the moon cycle. You may think maybe it's the full moon, but actually the new moon is when you set your intention for what you want, for what you want to let go of. It's kind of sets the path for the next month. And I love that, the moon's, first of all, you can do that any day of the week, any time of day. But there's something about aligning yourself with something greater than you, the moon, the earth, whatever, And there's lots of programs out there. There's lots of people, if it calls to you, Google, go on Eventbrite, see what's out there. I go to biglifemagic.com. I think she's doing a free moon program on Sunday, and she's great. Like I had her on the show, on my Talk About It Tuesday show before. She's great. So don't miss that, or check it out if you feel called to do so. But anyway, I'm saying this, I'm trying to give you some tools, for the expansion that you may desire. And a big part of expansion, I think, is getting out of your comfort zone, is pushing, and not just getting to the edge of it and being oh, I'm gonna push this envelope a little bit. No, expansion, transformation comes from the blowing it out of the park, so you could ask yourself, what does it look like to blow it out of the park in my expansion? My good friend shared with me a phrase that she got from somebody else, which is what would be not $1,000 comfort zone push, but a $20,000 comfort zone push, right? Not I'm going to email this person kind of risk, but I'm going to call them, leave them a message kind of risk, right? I'm going to try to get them on the phone, right? That's kind of that's really getting more uncomfortable, right? Maybe for some of you it's the opposite, but you know what I'm saying, right? So expansion is facing the shit that you don't want to face, because that's where the work needs to be done, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down. And I think expansion might involve getting support. It might involve saying, I can't do this on my own, because I'm talking about big life change expansion, and I need support. And it's not to say it's not you doing the work. Yeah, you absolutely have to do the work. And maybe you need to change a pattern of yours of doing everything on your own and saying, you know what? This requires the big guns. Who are the big guns that can help you? I think also expansion is about opening to possibilities, right? And saying, look, universe, God, whatever that is for you, Allah, whatever, I want these things. you know? I want abundance in my life, or I want relationships in my life, or whatever. And then letting go of what that might look like. And letting go of what the timeline is for that. Because expansion, to me, is honoring your desires, giving yourself permission to dream, and also saying, and I'm open to not knowing what that might look like or how I might get there. And it may not be linear. The universe may say, okay, I hear you. I want to give you that. But first, I'm going to need you to do this. And then maybe the universe throws you some shit you got to work on that sucks. But that's kind of how the process works, right? So, yeah. And I just want to say that, I talk about, right, heal your stuff, right? Like heal your wounds, heal those things that aren't serving you, that keep you down, that keep you small. And that can be big T trauma. It could be little T trauma. And it's all valid, I think even the first step is just acknowledging, having the awareness, oh shit, I've been through some things and it was tough, and I think I have shared on this platform before that for years I denied my own trauma. For years I denied saying that this was damaging, right? Psychologically, physically, and I think that when people think of trauma, they think about physical trauma, and emotional trauma is right up there. It can be just, and if not more, damaging and harmful than physical. So I just don't want you to diminish whatever it is that you need to heal. It's all like valid, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't need comparison. It doesn't, the minute that you say, oh, well, I've been through this, but oh my gosh, so many other people have had it worse. Like that comes from a scarcity mindset of like, there's not enough compassion in the world for me to have compassion for myself, right? And what I'm saying is like, that's not true. It's not true. Compassion is infinite. You can have compassion for yourself and compassion for others. And what they've been through. So, yeah, I know we went around the houses on this one. It's a big topic, right? But I think, the metaphor that I was thinking of about expansion was, we're coming into spring, right? And now is when things grow. Trees grow, bushes grow, flowers grow. And with trees, what happens is, right, during the winter, right, all the leaves fall, and all that old leaves have to be swept away. They have to be dealt with, right? And so there's winds and there's rain and there's snow to get rid of last year's leaves, right, that are dead. And oftentimes it is those big windstorms, right, where trees are falling, branches are breaking. That is when there is the most growth for those trees. It's how they get stronger, they survive, they flourish after the storm. And I think that is often what happens in expansion. It's not all roses and just blossoms. Like, it comes with struggle. Most of the time, it comes with pain. It comes with discomfort. And that is where the growth is. And what happens is the expansion. So, I hope you took something away from this. And, I'd love to hear any of your thoughts that you have. Share it with me. Share it on this platform, what have you. I wish for you lots of expansion as we are fully into spring, as we enter into the new moon cycle. And, go do it. Life is too short. All right? Love you guys. And ciao for now.